That situation is going to go ahead and make you, or it's going to prepare you, or it is going to break you. It's up to you to be able to be the deciding factor on what it's going to do and how it's going to leave you. So those are some points I want to just share with each and every one of you. You have to make sure that you bet on you.
Welcome to the EMP Podcast. I'm your host, Shauna Weatherspoon, Shauna's CEO Weatherspoon. We are streaming for you every Wednesday on Facebook, YouTube, and most importantly at our website, Shauna Weatherspoon, the EMP Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome. Make sure that you like and share this video with someone that you want to empower with purpose. You are part of this experience, so please comment your thoughts as we go. What is the EMP Podcast? I'm so glad you asked, darlings. The EMP Podcast stands for Empower Me with Purpose, because that is what we do. The EMP Podcast is a platform that brings you real stories from real people, real women, to empower you to become your best self and support you along the way. We have selected some of the most amazing guests who share their stories, their struggles, their experiences, their success, and hope that it lifts you up and feeds your spirit. I started this podcast because the mission that empowers me with purpose is Raising Our Daughters Foundation. We are a registered nonprofit that we founded in 2015. We started it because we needed to. Yeah. All revenues, proceeds, and donations that come from the EMP podcast are donated to Raising Our Daughters Foundation to empower, mentor, and support girls and women around the globe through scholarships, grants, and sisterhood. You can support our initiatives by liking and sharing our social media at ROD Foundation and participate in our events. Today's episode, honey, grab a pen, grab a beverage, grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your whole life, because the queen that is coming before you today is none other than the amazing Shontina Coach Gladney. She is so many things to so many people. I could talk about this dear heart all day long because she is one of the dearest hearts of my life. So I cannot be more pleased to introduce to you my sister, my friend, my warrior woman, my queen, Miss Shontina Gladney. Welcome to the EMP Podcast.
Wow, thank you so very much, Shauna. Just so honored, and I am so proud of you, my sister. I just cannot stop smiling. My jaws have been hurting ever since you called me and said, you know what, I want you on that podcast. So
gotta have it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Gotta have it. Thank you. So I could talk about you all day. I could do that standing on my head, and I ain't never stood on my head before, but I could and I would for you. So I want to read your bio because I want to make sure that our guests know firsthand all of the things that you are to so many people throughout the universe. Is that okay if we do that for a second?
That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Now I just want to give full disclosure. Some of these words in here, I may need a little help with.
You got this.
Okay. I went to Milwaukee Public Schools, so I might need a little help here and there. So you help a sister out. You just jump on right in. Okay.
All right.
All right. Shontina Gladney, my sister, is 51 years old. She is the president and the mastermind behind SGGN Group, which is Shontina Gladney Global Network, whoop, whoop, the Entrepreneur Society, LLC. Her Milwaukee-made marketing and lifestyle coaching company has become a pinnacle level online and offline community for network marketing professionals and high-performing entrepreneurs to connect and collaborate while harnessing the power of collaborative economics. Her coaching practice has increased influence, capacity, profits, and visibility among the entrepreneur community nationwide. Shontina has been an entrepreneur since the age of 18 years old, full-time since 2000. Come on, somebody. She has coached and mentored over 10,000 individuals. Let me say that again for the people way, way in the back. Over 10,000 individuals with starting and scaling a business from home. In 2009, Shontina started the first of its kind on the shores of Lake Michigan, shared workspace and business incubator Pinnacle Motivations Network. She gained her coaching certification in 2005, and in 2016, she was invited to the Forbes Coaching Council. In 2010, her company became the creator of the largest home-based business expo, showcasing 100 entrepreneurs annually. Shontina is a third-generation entrepreneur, two-time international best-selling co-author, a mom of two amazing daughters, a grandmother, a wife of 21 years, serves on various boards, including Raising Our Daughters Foundation, I might add, and is passionate about building a higher community. Shontina recently became the establishmentarian.
Yes.
Honey, you better teach somebody. Because I said, what is that? Of the Upsilon Nu Phi. Am I saying I got it so far? Okay.
Yes.
Woo,
Yes.
baby. A sorority and fraternity for entrepreneurs. After being diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, Shontina has made it her mission to stop pressing the snooze button on her dreams and to model what making a living while living truly means. Woo! Woo! Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Shontina Gladney.
Yes, sister.
A raised daughter. A raised daughter.
Yes.
Let's go and get right into this conversation. What does that mean? What does that mean when you hear the words a raised daughter for you in your heart and mind? So,
yes, when you asked me to come onto the podcast, and I know raising our daughters just near and dear. When I look back on the photos, when I go to your website, I'm like, wow, I'm reminded of the steps that my mom had to take, and that was scary, her first, but she didn't turn down, she didn't turn back. And so it just lifted me higher. And so even as I look at my daughters and what it is that I've been able to instill within them, my daughter the other day, she informed me, she said, Mom, you know what? Your shoes are too big to fill. And I told her, I'm not doing this for you to fill my shoes. I really, truly mean that I truly want for my ceiling to be your floor. I'm doing this so that you can have something to stand on, so that you can have something to be able to pass on to my grandbaby, so that she can be raised. And so as we raise ourselves, as we raise our integrity, as we raise our resilience, as we raise what it is that we do and how we do it and why we do it, that's all I could think about is being that raised daughter of Gladys McGee, and how it is that she's instilled so many important things and qualities within me. And so that's what I am and who I am today. And that couldn't have been further from just being raised as that daughter of Gladys McGee, but then so many other amazing women like yourself, Shauna, that has poured into me. So a lot of times people feel as though those that have raised you are only blood within blood. No, you cannot go ahead and despise the fact that there are some amazing individuals that God put in your place to go ahead and to not replace anyone, but to be able to go ahead and to enhance it, Shauna. So I am that raised daughter.
Yes, you are indeed. Yes, you are indeed. And you are continuing to raise the bar, okay? Across the universe. So, you have so much fight in you. You have so much God in you. You have so much vision in you. You have such a heart of gold. How do you continue to keep raising the bar for yourself and while raising others and lifting others and supporting others along the way that only the way that Shontina Gladney can? How do you do that?
Wow. Because I've always been that person where I never want to be seen as a hypocrite. And so for me to tell someone else to stop pressing the snooze buttons on their dreams, and I'm constantly laying back down because I just don't feel like getting out of bed, for whatever reason, don't feel like, moving forward. I have went ahead and canceled meetings after meetings after meetings because I just can't do it. I don't have the strength to do it. And so I pull from that place. A lot of people, when you say why, they say, oh, that's so cliche-ish. But if I didn't know my why, what has me, right? What hurts me, which when you say what has you, what hurts you, those are the things that I think about, Shauna, that reminds me of why I cannot give up. Why is it that I must keep going? And it really does. It fuels me to make sure that I do not just give up. Just give up. And I know that this is part of the journey, Shauna. When I look at everything that I prayed for, and the things I pray for are not things. When I look at those, things that have been answered, I'm like, thank you, Lord, for answering my prayer, And so it may not look like what I thought it would, but that is definitely the reason why I keep going, because I continue to dig deep into my soul and my spirit and ask myself why.
There are no days off fooling with you. I tell everybody all the time, like, if you got a problem and you're not looking for a solution, you do not want to talk to Shontina Gladney. You just don't. And I'm one of those people, by the way. So if they're not quite sure where they at on things, tell them to call me first. I got it. I got it. So I was thinking about this interview, and I was thinking about all of our history together over the years, from raising our own babies, to now you have a grandbaby, to redefining our lives, our businesses, reinventing ourselves once again, being a mother, being a wife, like all of these things that we are, and it just continues to evolve. And I'm excited about that. I'm so excited for you and all that I see. But what are some of the things that you want at this stage of your life? What are some of the top priority of things that are on your list? And where I'm going with this, with wearing all of these hats, how do you prioritize? How do you keep the first things with all of the hats that you wear?
Indeed. And so I was taught early on that you got to keep the main thing the main thing. That's it. You have to know, first of all, what is important to you, and then begin to work from there. But when it comes down to it, God is always at the forefront. The priority of everything reign over my life. Some of the decisions, people may not, understand them at that time, but that's where my counsel comes from, because there was times where I didn't feel like I had anyone to talk to or share with, because it's just some embarrassing moments and times, right? But also when you're talking about the family, that comes next. And so when it comes down to looking at that whole list, and it wasn't always like that, Shauna. When you come from the zip code 53206, you trying to hustle your way up out of there where you would never look back. You have those never again moments, right? And so it hasn't always been like that, where my life was just all over. I'm like, I'm just trying to struggle to get out of here in that survival mode. But as I began to move into my wealthy place, when I say wealth, it has nothing to do with money, the abundance of life, period. So God, then my family, then for me to go ahead and look at my career and how is it that I can change the world. So that's what I do on a daily basis. My daughter needed me to take care of something today. I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it happen. I got this interview at 12. I had another appointment right between there. I still fit it in because I was able to prioritize and say, guess what? This right here is first and foremost. So that's it. It's just in that order, and everything else, it falls in order along with that.
Yeah. So it sounds like the divine order to me. Sounds like the divine order, because that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is.
Wow.
So there are, I'm trying to ease into this conversation. I'm just going to drop the mic and get right on into it. Right?
Yes.
So becoming that woman, evolving to the place that you are today, that is not for the faint at heart. That is not an overnight process. So what tips can you share with us to help us get to that place? If for our listeners who are struggling or don't know where to start or what to do, what are some tips that you could give to them to get them heading into their wealthy place?
But you know what? I used to always tell people, I'm not a betting woman. but I am such a gambler, is ridiculous.
Yes,
And
you
so
are.
once I learned to bet on me,
Come on.
Shontina Gladney,
Yes.
oh my goodness, it was
Yeah.
game over. Once you begin to do that, let me tell you, everything else, submit and surrender to whatever it is that you're asking the universe for. Universe meaning, my God, I don't know who you serve, but
Right.
once I began to do that, Shauna, bet
Yes.
on me, it was over. Seriously, I didn't doubt anything else, and of course, I was able to then become very, very humble to so many other people that had
Yes.
more information than me, that
Yes.
I knew I needed that. So definitely make sure that you find yourself to be humble to the right individuals, right? But then also at the right time. At the right time. The key word, the timing is not something, it is everything. So you have to be in tune, and you got to know and understand your own instincts. That's so very important for you to understand, trust, know your instincts, even though it may sound crazy. But then also, guess what? Don't be afraid. If you need to put on some knee pads because of how often you need to be on your knees and praying to God for some strength and some things that you know that you will not be able to carry yourself, you need to do that. That's another thing. You got to make sure that you have some faith and belief coming from somewhere beyond yourself, right?
Absolutely.
But then also you have to make sure that you surround yourself with individuals that not only believe in you, but that challenges you, that's going to tell you about yourself, right? When we dressed in a mess, I remember you used to always say, girl, just dressed in a mess. And we were. When I look back, I'm like, man, we truly, my goodness, but we were still moving. So you have to be willing to do that, and make sure that you do it out of love, and make sure that it's being reciprocated out of love. But then also make sure that you're not around those caterpillar killers. You know how I love the butterfly, right? And that's because of the metamorphosis stages that butterfly goes through. And that's the same way as I look at it as far as with our lives. You have to make sure that you understand there is a caterpillar in every single area of your life. So do not just bunch it all together. You know, when people say that, oh, how do you reinvent yourself? We transform. And so when it comes down to reinvention, that's far from anything, because guess what? We just add to. Shauna, you have been inside of the real estate game, the community, a mogul, and people probably think, oh, she's only been in it for 2 years, or she just got back into real estate 5 years ago. No. How many years have you been in real estate, Shauna?
18.
There you go. 18 years. Many times we do not accumulate our experience and experiences with the years that we have did that. So guess what? Anytime you put over 2,000 hours into anything, you become a master. You are a master at what it is that you do. So that's what you need to think and say to yourself. When I think back and I look at it, how many people tried to make sure that they put a lid on Shontina Gladney, that they tried to shame Shontina Gladney. I have to always look at the fact of what it was that I was before the situation, because we're going to have situations.
Yes, we
but
are.
Either that situation is going to go ahead and make you, or it's going to prepare you, or it is going to break you. It's up to you to be able to be the deciding factor on what it's going to do and how it's going to leave you. So those are some points I want to just share with each and every one of you. You have to make sure that you bet on you.
Listen, girl, if I didn't want these people to put me out this building, I want to run around here and shout right now. Shout right now for so many reasons. I want to shout for so many reasons. And let me tell you why. I want to recap, because I don't want the people to miss this. I heard you're all in on you.
Yes.
We all in. Put it all on you.
All.
So all bets are in.
Yes.
Everything else is off, canceled and off the table. It's all on you. I heard that. I heard the right individuals.
Yes.
I heard the right timing.
Yes.
I see. I'm listening.
Girl, you listening. And I mean, notes. You good? Because I couldn't do that, Shauna.
I heard master. All of those years of experience and the things that you've done. Because it's funny how we let others, outside forces, right,
Yes,
dictate
indeed.
today, and people are very, very fickle. Things change with folks every day, all day. But you're saying, no, wait a minute. Let me not forget. Let me not lose sight of who God called me to be.
Yes.
And what I'm supposed to do next. And life is going to keep happening. So let me be ready for it. Let me be ready for it.
Yeah.
Did I get it all?
You got it all right, girl. And you put a bow on it.
Come on with this bow. So, okay. So I want you to talk about the butterfly effect just a little more. And then because you don't even know the goosebumps I have right now about you and this butterfly. So can you tell us what about the caterpillar and the butterfly? Can you explain to us what all of that means for the people who don't know and haven't heard you tell this story yet?
Wow, indeed. So we know that, first of all, the butterfly goes through those stages. And so it starts off as they say, the seed or the egg. The egg is basically that. And then from there, you go ahead and you have that caterpillar. And so from the caterpillar, that caterpillar has to go through the metamorphosis stages, and they get into the cocoon, and that's where all of the nutrients and everything's going on in the crystallisis stages. And a lot of times the caterpillar doesn't make it out of that stage, even though they know their purpose. They still choose to give up in between there because of the fight that has to happen within themselves in order to go ahead and get to become that beautiful butterfly. And so that's the way I really look at even my life, with every single area where I've had to fight through this, fight through that, fight through this, push through this, all of those things. And the caterpillar killers that come, into our lives, I could have just given up. And many of us do. But do you understand your purpose is to get to the other side of that? What's ugly now is going to turn and metamorphosize into something amazing and beautiful if you allow it to. Many times we run away. We stay in that crystallisis stage or that cocoon for so long. Long, you think that you're not going to just dwindle up and die, right? A lot of people are walking around dead. A lot of people are walking around and their souls are dead because they have not found out what's going to awaken their spirit, and just keep them alive, Shauna. So that butterfly, when I tell you the story, the whole entire story, but that's for the most part, is that we have to grow through our stages. We have to.
Yeah, we do. So, no caterpillar killers. No caterpillar killers. I'm gonna remember that. No caterpillar killers.
That's right.
No time for caterpillar killers.
No time. That's right.
No time at all. No time at all. No. So I was trying to wait, but you ain't gonna let me do it. You're just not gonna let me do it. So I don't want the people to think that I'm getting naked on the camera. But can you see that? Can you see that on my shoulder?
Yes, I do. And I seen that. I'm glad that you brought that up, because I believe the story behind that and why you got that is so important right now.
Why you think?
Because I honestly believe that. Because that's part of the raised daughter. If it was not for the situations that you've even went through, you would not have raised to the next level of who Shauna is meant to be. And there is so much greatness. And just through that act, that reminded me once again, like, this girl is so powerful. She is a miracle walking, and she is in this life. A part of my life. I'm like, oh my goodness. So Shauna, even that, people are like, what keeps you going? Shauna Weatherspoon, just to think of her, the thought of it. I have some bad mama jamma girlfriends, friends, family, right?
And you just can't help but be the big sister. But I want to tell you, on this special day, I got this for you.
Oh,
I did this for you. The day I did it, I talked to Dion Barnes, who's a very dear, one of the other dearest hearts to both of us. And I said, I'm putting this black butterfly right here for Shontina Gladney.
No.
So this black butterfly is for you.
My goodness. You see, you guys, and I told myself, I said, you know what? I'm not going to cry.
Yeah, I did that for you.
You know what, Shauna Weatherspoon, are you serious?
I did that for you.
Wow.
For you. Because I
Wow.
was going through something at the time, still going through something. So you just fed my soul once again, like you always do.
Oh my.
And sometimes, like you said, you're going through things, you can't really talk about it. But I said, that good sister right there, that warrior woman of mine. And if you look in the middle of my butterfly, it's a woman in the middle of that. And she's
Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Look at this. See, this is how you find out. Oh my goodness. Praise God. Oh my
goodness. That butterfly waistline is like you ain't never seen in the world. That butterfly got a waistline out there. World. Wait till you see it for yourself in person. So thank you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I always, from the day I met you, I've loved you. I've looked up to you. In any day, because I think we should talk about that too, in any day that there has been a disappointment, any day that there has been a letdown, just know that I always get back up because I have to, first of all, but you are always in my ear. You are always in my heart, and it's always for good intentions. And a lot of times you can't, being the person that you are, and I think we should talk openly about this too, you don't want to disappoint certain people in your life. And you're one of those people for me. So I want you to know that sometimes I can't show up for you because I can't. I just can't. I have to get myself together. I know there's a certain standard of excellence that I must always come to the table with when I'm sitting next to my sister. So I need to say that to you. I need you to hear that loud and clear, because I know too for a fact that a lot of people in our lives, around our lives, who are just spectators altogether, don't know how to approach us. Yeah. They don't always have the words to say to us, right? So they got to figure it out in their own way. And sometimes that means just step back, because the people that really love you, the people that genuinely care about you, they're gonna make sure you get back up. They're gonna make sure you go. Now you might catch an earful, as you should. Yes, as you should. But it's because we see the best in each other. That's right. And we know there's so much more that God has for all of us to do, and we ain't gonna have it no other way. That's right. So you are that. You are that, honey. You are all of that to so many people. So you are my butterfly. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, what a gift. Oh my goodness. Those are flowers. You know, a lot of people say, give me my flowers while I yet live. Yeah. And I have gotten so many flowers, and you continuously give me those flowers, Shauna. And that's what I'm saying. A raised daughter, right? Just continuing to just be raised. That's it. Day by day. You know, moment by moment. So, wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're right. Like I said, you're raising it all. You're raising it all. Can we talk about cancer for a minute? What made you go to the doctor? And what has this experience been like for you? And what have you learned about yourself through the process, both through health-wise, mentally, spiritually, whatever you want to share? We want to hear your story. Indeed. And so when I tell you, I used to always say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I had to hide that in my heart and not release it for some time, because this is a whole trust walk. When people think that it's a whole health thing, indeed it is, as you're fighting this ugly thing called cancer. But do you understand? It's the mind. If you lose that mind, if you allow for the cancer and the thought of it to take control of your mind, you've lost the battle. You've lost the battle. And so I used to always, wonder, like, why would people have on gloves talking about the fight, right? Because there are different, I don't know what they call them when you're in a boxing ring and you go to the second round, the rounds. Yes, indeed. That's exactly what it is through cancer. You're going through the rounds of it. So when I had first discovered, and before I thought that I
it was just something different, your body. And so I had went for a mammogram and they thought they seen something. So they sent me back again into where they was able to go ahead and take another closer look. And they said, well, no, we don't see anything. And so I just went on through life and said, okay, I'm gonna go to next year, and have it to be. My husband ended up having a stroke during the time that I was supposed to went back for my mammogram the next year. But I had felt something as I was in the shower. I felt a lump, and I said, well, maybe it's just, from my deodorant or, something like that. And I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna go after I go ahead and make sure he's good. And, he had been in the hospital for a whole month. And so all of a sudden I was just in pain, Shauna. And I'm like, no, I have to go and see what's going on. So I was able to get him settled and finally went on to the doctor. Didn't tell anyone. I mean, not one person. This was the most, I've been through some lonely times, right? And so, but this week seemed like this was the loneliest walk ever, because I just didn't want people to worry. And, because I kept saying to myself, like, it's nothing. It's just, they just go ahead and drain whatever needs to be drained. And so I got the first diagnosis back, and I said, well, I don't know. These people, they're sitting up there and always trying to get people into this whole diagnosis thing. And so I went ahead and waited a little bit, prayed, and like, God, whatever this is, just don't let it be. Do not let it be. And so next thing I know, Shauna, I went again, and it was right before the holidays. And so I knew my family was coming together. I hadn't seen my daughter and my grandbaby from California in such a long time. My other daughter, she was being victorious in her journey that she was going through and battling. And so I said, no, I will not ruin their holidays. So I kept that to myself during that time. But also I had to make some decisions. And so as I did, I first started off at the hospital, St. Mary's here in Wisconsin. Okay. But right away, Shauna, I took God right in there with me. And it was some things that was happening, and where I'm like, this is not part of my plan. And so even in that moment, God gave me the strength to advocate for myself and to be in control of what was about to be a part of this journey, because I had to look at it that each and every person, if you weren't in alignment with God, I'm sorry, you just couldn't be on my team, taking care of me in my life. And so those was questions I had to ask. And I was sitting in the waiting room as I was getting back dressed, and a commercial came on. My mom had explained to me about this commercial. And she said, Tina, she said, I seen this commercial where this and she was giving me the information for somebody else, but not knowing it was meant for me. She said, I seen it, and it was this husband and wife, and they had just found out that the wife had cancer, and they went to this one center, and it's not too far from Wisconsin. So make sure that you get them that. And I'm like, okay, I will, Mom. And so I looked at the commercial. I said, wait a minute. She was giving me that information for me. And I called right there in that waiting room, Shauna. I called right there in that waiting room. They said, ma'am, can you get here tomorrow? And they were right in Illinois Cancer Treatment Center. And when I got there, I knew that that was the place that God was going to send me to go ahead and fight this fight that I had. So it has definitely been a journey. I celebrated for two weeks. You helped me celebrate my 51st birthday. And because I was cancer free, they told me I was cancer free a week before I began to celebrate. And do you understand? I went back to the doctor for my checkup, and they had disclosed this with me that the cancer had turned into another form of cancer. And so I'm on that battlefield again, fighting that journey. Like I said, when they say those boxing gloves, put on those boxing gloves with those rounds, because, you just never know. Cancer is tricky, it's evil, and it could take over not only your entire life, but it can also have other people live in a hopeless world if you allow it to. So cancer, I said, cancer doesn't have me. Cancer,
I was just about to say that. Cancer does not have you. Cancer does not have you. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So as far as your well-being, how are you feeling? How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I am feeling well. I started along with my infusions back up. They had me on cancer pills. So I was off for a whole week. So I was superwoman. And so I started back taking, I started back the regimen. So I'm on for 2 weeks and then I'm off for a week from the pills. And so I started back today and I'm like, okay, how am I getting ready to do this? And so I did. My husband and I, we do Bible study every morning. So that strengthens me. And so I know I have to drink plenty of water, make sure that I'm, eating things because I done blew up like a balloon. And at first I used to let that consume me, but it's all a part of that. But also I know also now, some things that has been taught to me and my body and how my body feels where I'm not as bloated, or I forgot what the inflammation is huge when you're going through, the treatments and things like that. But I'm feeling good, and I'm really good now that I see your smiling face.
Well, let me tell you something, honey. It shows. I have never seen you so bold. I have never seen you walk so courageous. I have never seen you so powerful in your wardrobe. I have never seen you. You have really nice boobs, by the way. So to see you show your boobs now, I'm like, you better.
You know what? Guess what? And you know what I said? Because when I started to find out, I'm like, you know what? I used to hide y'all all the time.
Yes, you did.
And so I did. I did go through a mastectomy, and people were like, huh? And I said, yeah, they removed one of my breasts. And I said, but I have an amazing plastic surgeon, and I said, and we still have other stages to go through. I said, but like today, girl, I did not feel like putting on all the other stuff. So I said, I don't care who look at me and be like, girl, what happened to this? And here it is, you got this over here. I'm like, y'all don't even understand. So yeah, it is a journey, and it's one that it could take a person out if you allow for people, because the world will, I get stares if I don't, but other words, I'm just thankful to be alive. I think that's all that I keep on saying, because I still have time to spend with my grandbaby, with my daughters, with you, with Michael, my husband, as well as, just my entire amazing team of partners that God has blessed me with, that is now family, and just live boldly, live in my dreams. I told myself, I want to be somewhere where it feels like I'm walking into a resort every day. That's how I want to live. That is the life I want. And so I thought I was going to have to move out of the state. But God said no. And I found a place every single day. I feel like I'm waking up to a resort. So Shauna, I know you're right. When you go through life altering situations like that, life is truly a gift. And I open my gift up every moment I get.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm telling you, I see it every day. I see it every day. The glow that's on you, honey, is undeniable. It is undeniable. You make us so very proud. You make us so much more courageous. You make us understand and prioritize all of these things we should have while making a living, while making a life, and doing all of the things that we do. And you're doing it. You're walking it out. You are walking it out like no other. So you continue to do that, because I'm telling you, the world, not only are they watching, they're taking notes.
The world is watching.
The world is watching, and they're taking notes, honey.
Wow, look at there. Oh my goodness. Giving credit to Devon D, because we not paying you.
Yep, we got to give him that, because he not about to hit me up with no bill about it. Come on, Devon D. Come on, drop your link in here, because once he see it, he gonna drop it anyway.
Yes.
So we cannot, before we go, we want to, first of all, we want to thank you for your time.
Yes.
You just don't even know how many people, how many families, how many other people's grandbabies you are about to bless with your testimony and your words. So we don't take this time lightly at all, not whatsoever. But what we want to know before we go is, how can we support you? How can we connect with you? If there's any upcoming events, things you got going on, what do we need to know about Boss Lady?
Wow, indeed. Well, thank you. Well, first of all, the first and foremost, the thing that's on my agenda that everybody was trying to switch around. I said this has been on my agenda since 6 years ago.
You better tell them.
Okay, I said, and it happens to be the 17th of October. So
Yes.
I know where many of y'all won't Shontina Gladney, but I know where I won't be, and I know where I will be, and that is in the building. We're raising our daughters foundation. Oh my goodness. When I tell you, I am so excited about this, Shauna. I am so proud of you for just being that mother of all mothers for so many. And here it is, this amazing event to remind us that we are raising our daughters, and all of us is someone's daughter, all of us, and so I'm looking forward to that on the 17th. And then also October 16th, every third Saturday in October, we usually host what's called My City, My Biz, right? And so we showcase 100 entrepreneurs all over the state of Wisconsin. Some people come in from the outlying areas, but this year, God wanted me to walk truly in my purpose. And so I am hosting, along with my partners, it's called the Collaborative Economics Conference. And so I will be introducing to everyone my network. So Shontina Gladney Global Network, which is SGGN Group. We will be introducing our networks, but not only that, but to be able to show people that we're not talking about what we're getting ready to do. We are not new to this. We are true to this. We have been walking in collaboration since 2009, starting with 23 entrepreneurs. That's right. You are a witness, okay? And also Michael DeMond is a witness.
Yes, he is.
So we have been able to lay that groundwork and that framework to now all of us, we are working together collaboratively. There is never a time you're going to have someone sitting at our table and they are hungry, And so that's the key thing. So the 16th of October, look out for that. And I do have a dial that's being released as well.
You are finally doing it?
Woman. Yes, I have a dial that will be released. And so by a young lady that I coach. Her mom is phenomenal. I coach her mom, but you will hear more about that and her. And so that dial, the proceeds will definitely go towards organizations that's near and dear to me, like raising our daughters. And so I did go ahead, exactly. And so Mikhail Daniels, you guys probably hear that name over and over again. But she assisted me with putting together a dream of mine that I've had since I was in my early 20s, that I wanted to put together a sorority and a fraternity. And this one is strictly for entrepreneurs. And so we will be raising funds like that of the dial, where, those type of things will fund organizations that's near and dear to us, that's led by entrepreneurs, that's part of our network. So we're definitely learning how to take care of home. We're building a strong foundation. How can you help the world when you have those that you love, that's near and dear to you, that's struggling? And so that's what I want to make sure that we are experts at and masters at. So those things are coming up along with so many other things, but so everybody can understand, we have some powerful networks of people that are working together. And so we're going to show them in action what that looks like and how true collaboration has helped us all climb that ladder.
Can't wait to witness it. Can't wait to be a part of it and put my stamp on it again and say, yep, certified, it's done.
You right.
Delivered. Yep, been there.
Wow. Those founders.
Yes. How do we connect with you directly?
Thank you. And so you can definitely connect with me at the Entrepreneur Society on Facebook. Our website is sggngroup.com. So you can look me up there. I'm on LinkedIn as well, Shontina Gladney. But true enough, it's time for you to stop pressing the snooze buttons on your dreams, you guys. I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger, and I am so thankful to be here. So I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you. But the EMP podcast, it is here to stay. Shauna, you got to make sure that you keep this going. You have to. Thank you so much.
Messing with you, I don't think I have a choice. So that's what we're going to do. So yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Indeed.
We can't thank you enough. We know you got a lot of things to get into today, like you do every day. For everybody out there watching, connect with her directly. make sure that you come out and support her event on October 16th. Follow her on Facebook. I looked at my page last night. I'm like, I'm her friend 3 times. So the woman is busy, okay? She got 3 different pages I'm attached to her at on Facebook alone. Like, which one am I talking to right now? So make sure you all connect with her directly. If you are looking to build your life by design, I'm telling you, this is a lady that you want to connect with. Before we go, I'm gonna drop some information I probably shouldn't be telling, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. So you continue to be a testimony. I was on a radio last week to promote the Raising Our Daughter 6th annual event, which you mentioned is going to be held on Sunday, October 17th at the Dandy on 50th and Belize. We'll drop the link in here. Get your tickets today. We want to make sure all of the people are in the building. Come bold, come beautiful, come ready to cut all the way up, because that's what we are about to do. But I was interviewing on the radio with Diane Green. And Diane said, once we got done with the interview, she said, I don't know where none of y'all came. She was like, every last one of you. She said, you, Shontina, Dion. She was like, y'all don't know what y'all do for so many other people's lives. She said, Shontina, which I never knew this. And I wasn't supposed to, but she said, Shontina used to work with me weekly. We would meet weekly and she would work with me. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there shaking my head like, this woman is a trip. Like, all of this stuff, I don't know how you do it all. I don't know why you do it all. I just know God has you here for a great, great reason for all of us. So just nobody knows what your walk is like but you and the Lord's. So just keep on doing what you're doing, honey. Keep walking it out. Keep your head held high. Keep being strong and showing us how to do it no matter what. No matter what. And that's all we got for you all today. I don't know what else more we can do to bless y'all and your families and your grandbabies and everybody else, but do something with yourself before we see you again next Wednesday. Everybody, thank you for joining. Thank you for being a blessing. Tune in, share it, donate. I cannot wait to see this pinnacle down, and we will see you all soon. Take care.